watching the Book Your Success team. I'm Anita Henderson with my partner in success, Candace L. Davis. Hey, lady, how you doing?
Hey girl, hey, I'm doing great. It's Monday
Whew,
morning.
it
I
is
love a
Monday.
good Monday morning when the sun is shining and the
Well,
sun
guess
is
what? It is not Monday morning, my dear.
it's
It is
Monday morning for
Monday
me because I
afternoon.
don't get up that early.
It's Monday afternoon. How you like that?
Depends on what
Yes,
time you start your day. So
exactly. So, and the sun is shining for once in a week or so
it's a
for
beautiful
us.
thing. It's a
I
beautiful
know.
thing.
It is a wonderful thing. So, hey, we are here. We're excited to bring you another really useful tip. Trust us, you're going to love us for this. So, for those of you who don't know much about Book Your Success, let me just start there. We are an online community for aspiring and already published authors. And so today, we're bringing you published authors a couple of tips that's really going to help you be successful as a published author. Everybody looks forward to launch day, right? That launch day event, as if it's only one. As far as we're concerned, it could be more than one. But we're going to talk today about your book launch event, right, Candace?
Yeah, and the deal is if you're thinking, well, I already wrote my book and I launched it a while ago. Oh, no, no, my darling. That's lovely, but stick with us because you can launch it again. You can have as many book launch events as you would like to have. So, whether you're still writing your book or you wrote it and it's published or you're coming to that publishing time, stick with us. We're going to tell you how to have a killer book launch event.
Absolutely. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be a launch event. Like Candace said, even if your book has come out already and you had your launch event, whatever, 6 months ago or 2 years ago, you can have just a sort of refresh event or an author book signing event or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be a launch if your book has already launched. But let's jump into it real quick. We've got 4 tips for you to make your book event, whether it's a launch or a book signing, super duper fantastic. And the first thing is to have a team. You have got to have a team. You cannot do this successfully by yourself because you will drive yourself absolutely nuts. So you have to have some people to help you from planning to on site execution and all the other stuff that goes with it.
Oh, absolutely. So when you get to the event, you're going to be like the star of the show, right? So you can't be the star and also be the person that's running around trying to make sure everything is taken care of. Like you're going to be this, everyone's going to want your time, everyone's going to want your attention, everyone's going to want you to sign a book. So in the planning stage, and especially on the day of, you have got to have someone help you with the process.
Yeah, and that could be, 3 to 10 people, depending on how large your event is. And specifically on site, you want people to help you with, setup for one thing, because you may have some food, you may have some decor you want to include, you may have actually setting up your actual book signing table, whatever the room looks like, you're going to need some help setting that up. You need some people to manage your line, right? Your actual book sales and the line of people who will be waiting for you to sign their book. Um, and there's some things involved in that too. Then you got to deal with the sales. So how are you going to take money for your book? Are you going to use a debit or credit card reader? Are you taking cash only? Whatever you're going to do. So you have to have a team to help with some of those logistics. Super important. Don't do it yourself.
You can't.
What's the next thing,
It will drive you
Candace?
crazy. So don't try to have a spur of the moment, spontaneous, unplanned event. You need to
Oh,
plan and you need to prepare and you need to give yourself more time to plan than you think you need. It's like any other event, it always takes more time than you think it's going to take in order for you to do all the things you need to do, right? You've got to find a location. Once you've found and secured your location, that's great, but you need time to promote the event and tell people about it so that you can make sure you're not there signing books to yourself, which is just no fun.
mhm.
You need to make sure it's just not fun. You need to make
That's
sure
tough.
you're planning it in the right time and place and location and getting the invitations out. And if you're going to have food, where's that food coming from? And if you're going to have drinks, where are the drinks coming from? Earlier this year, one of my clients at the book launch, she had a live band, she had a DJ, she had a
Wow.
caterer, she had a liquor sponsor who provided a little bar area, and she had book sales. Imagine how much planning went into all of that. What she did was partner with another author who happens to be very good at planning events, and they helped each other with each brought their own strengths to the other's events, right? So she didn't have to come out of pocket and pay a lot of money for help, but she needed someone to help her do the planning and preparing because she knew it wasn't her strength.
Right, absolutely. And then, too, at the very beginning of this thing, in terms of planning, how are you even going to get people there? How will people know that you're even having a book event? You've got to send out some invitations. And
Yeah.
that these days looks like, email, Evite, or, social media
Facebook.
blast out,
Yeah.
email, all those kinds of things. Yeah. So you've got to have that done. And it probably doesn't look like, if you want to kind of, jazz your thing out, it doesn't look like you sending just an email text to tell people, hey, I'm having this event, I want you to come. It probably needs to be prettified, right? You want to make it look lovely. You may even have a splash page or some other type of invitation page or email campaign that you send out over time. So that's part of the planning aspect
Yeah.
of it. And then, of course, yes, the preparation and the on-site stuff. You got to do that, okay? Because how else are people going to know you have an event and that they should show up and that you expect for them to buy your book when you get there?
You guys, we've
So,
all seen authors sitting at a table with stacks of books and no one around to buy their books.
so
It is the
sad.
saddest thing you would ever see. But no matter where you're having your event, like these authors are usually signing in a bookstore and they feel like, well, there are people shopping in the bookstore. And so they'll buy my book and they'll sign my book. That is not the right attitude unless you're like Stephen King. Like if you're Stephen King, you can just show up. If you're J.K. Rowling,
Right.
you can just show up. Otherwise, you've got to do the work to bring the people into whatever venue you're having your event.
Mhm. Absolutely. You got to do it. So the other thing is, and we've mentioned some of these aspects already, the next thing is to have fun. Make it fun. Like it should be fun for you. It should be fun for your team. And obviously it should be fun for the people who attend. So how do you make it fun? Like decide that you're going to do an actual reading. Read some excerpts from your book. That makes it interesting to people and it gives them a peek into the book and what it's about. And they want to buy it to read more. You want to have food, right? People will come out for food. Trust me. I mean, that's just the reality of it. The decor. We had a client a couple of years ago who launched her book, and all of the decor and, of course, the book cover and everything else matched her logo and her website, and it just looked pretty and fun. It was bright. She had like M&Ms, the same color as her logo. It was a lot of fun. So you want to make it interesting. If there's, like Candace said, her client had a band. Oh my God, a band?
It was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It was awesome.
Music, people love music. So think of some ways you can make it fun. You could have prizes or other kinds of giveaways. You got to make it cool and make it a memorable experience for your attendees.
Yeah, and it depends on what kind of book you've written, right? Because we've had clients do things like instead of having it as just a traditional book launch event, they made it a workshop. So when you came
Mhm.
in, you got the book, but you also got a lot more information that you couldn't find in the book, where she basically expanded on what she was teaching in the book. She went deeper in it just for that workshop. We've seen people do their book events in an interview style where they are like the guest and they're being interviewed by a host, so that maybe they don't have to just stand there and talk. It's a little bit more
Mhm.
interesting, gets a little bit more flavor. You can take Q&A from your audience. Be creative with it. Don't feel locked into, well, I'm just going to hand out books and sign them and hope everybody's happy. You got to bring a little bit of entertainment to the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely. It's so funny because I'm going to a book signing tonight. I kind
Ooh,
of wish we would have done this afterwards. So I'm really interested. Part of making it fun is the venue you
yeah.
choose. And this particular event is going to be held at a museum.
Oh, nice.
So make the venue fun as much as possible. Don't break the bank trying to do that. But you could have friends host you at their business or at their home or some other venue. So just kind of be creative and fun with your venue. But the overall thing, it should just be fun. It should be a fun, memorable event. What's the last thing we want to make sure of, Candace, to make that book launch event fun?
You have to follow up with people, right? So at the last book party that I went to, when you came in the door, they had a sign-in sheet where you just signed your name and email address. Oh, how do you know the author? They were really sweet and lovely and talked you through. And would you like to buy a book? But they got your email information. That allows the author to be able to follow up with everyone who came in the door after the event. You want to be able to do that because some of those people you don't know. Thank goodness some of them you don't know. It means your audience is expanding, but those could be future clients, customers, referral partners. strategic partners. You have no idea where that relationship could go. So you want to make sure you're able to keep in touch.
Yeah, follow up is key. And that kind of goes back to the planning part. You really want to think about your follow up before the event. Like, how will you follow up? And don't make it be, 2 weeks later, and, a couple of days to a week at the most later. I mean, please, right? Like, don't follow up way after you think the person has already read the book or forgotten about the book. You want to follow up within a reasonable amount of time, maybe 72 hours. Send an email. Some people you may actually want to make a phone call to, whichever. But make your follow up meaningful, and make it an open invitation to the next thing you want people to do, either work with you further, buy some more books, invite you to speak, whatever. So those are fun. Those are 4 things to make your book event or your book launch event successful. So let's go over those one more time. Have a team, because you can't and shouldn't do it by yourself. Plan and prepare. Okay. Planning is like the first step to success. You want to be sure to make it fun, make your event fun. And then of course you want to make sure to follow up.
That's it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's like planning any other event, except the product really is, in this case, you and your book, right? So that's what the center of attention is. It's not complicated. You can get it done. We actually have some really cool checklists and templates in our Authors Ignited group for our members, where they can just go through the checklist and make sure they're setting up their events the right way and they're covering all of their bases. But it's available to you, right? You can do a great event for your book that allows you to expand your platform and build your audience and make more connections.
Absolutely. And one of those free resources you can get to is Earn More Money with Your Book. It's absolutely free. It's a quick download that's full of information, and we want you to go ahead and order it at bookyoursuccess.com/earn-more. bookyoursuccess.com/earn-more. We'll drop the link below. We want to make sure you are successful with your first or your next book event. And we are always here to help you succeed. We're the Book Your Success team. I'm Anita Henderson, and I'm joined by Candace L. Davis. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.